As the studio lights of ABC's The View blazed like 1,000 paparazzi flashes, casting a golden glow over the iconic crowned table where America's queens of daytime television held court. It was October 12, 2025, a crisp autumn day in New York City, and the air inside the Broadway studio hummed with electric anticipation. Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, and Alyssa Farah Griffin sat poised in their signature chairs, mix clipped like jeweled brooches, ready to dissect the week's hottest headlines. But today, the guest list promised more than polite chit-chat. Sharon Osbourne, the sharp-tongued British spitfire with a mane of platinum hair and a wit forged in the fires of reality TV and rock and roll royalty, was in the house. And opposite her, in a move that had social media buzzing for days, sat none other than Prince Harry. Yes, the Prince Harry, fresh off a promotional whirlwind for his latest memoir sequel, Spare No More, a tell-all that peeled back even more layers of Windsor family drama. As the audience, a mix of wide-eyed millennials and Meghan Markle-inspired athleisure and silver-haired loyalists clutching their The View mugs, erupted in applause as the co-hosts introduced the segment. Whoopi, ever the ringmaster, leaned into her microphone with a mischievous grin. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what might be the most British invasion since the Beatles. We have the one and only Sharon Osbourne, who's never held back on the talk or anywhere else, and joining her for a very special conversation, His Royal Highness, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex." "Harry, what brings you to our little corner of the world today?" Azari, dressed in a tailored navy suit that screamed reformed royal but with just enough casual edge a popped collar, no Tia flashed his trademark boyish smile. At 41, he still carried the weight of his ginger-haired charm, though the lines around his eyes spoke of battles fought far from the polo fields of his youth. "Whoopi, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm here to talk about Spare No More, but really, it's about vulnerability, healing, and standing up for what's right. And, of course, a bit of transatlantic banter with Sharon here. We've known each other for years, haven't we, love?" As Sharon, perched like a lioness in a crimson pantsuit that hugged her curves with defiant glamour, let out a throaty laugh that echoed through the studio. At 73, she was a force of nature, Botox smooth skin stretched over a face that had seen Ozzy's excesses, Simon Cowell's boardrooms, and enough tabloid scandals to fill a library. Her eyes, sharp as stilettos, sparkled with that trademark Osbourne mischief. "Known each other, darling. I've watched you grow up on telly, from that cheeky schoolboy at Eton to the ginger prince who bolted across the pond. But let's not sugarcoat it. Spare No More, another bloody book slagging off your family? I've got more dirt on my manicures than you've got fresh tea to spill." As the audience tittered, a ripple of nervous energy. Joy Behar, sensing the spark, jumped in with her Brooklyn bravado. "Sharon, you and Harry both have that outsider vibe, you with your heavy metal roots, him with the crown jewels. But Harry's book is blowing up again. Sales are through the roof. What's your take on all this royal airing of laundry?" As Sharon leaned forward, her rings glinting like captured stars. She fixed Harry with a stare that could curdle milk. "My take? It's like watching a posh soap opera on a repeat. Harry's got more ghostwriters than ghosts in that palace, and every chapter's a dagger to the heart of the Windsors. I get it. Lovey family feuds are my bread and butter. Ozzy and I, we threw plates, screamed at the top of our lungs. But did I write a bestseller called Crazy Trainwreck exposing every fart and fight? No, you keep it in the family, or at least in therapy, not on Oprah's couch or Netflix specials." Azari's smile faltered for a split second, but he recovered with the poise of someone who'd faced down tabloid hounds since diapers. "Sharon, with respect and I do respect you immensely, Spare No More isn't about destruction, it's about truth. The institution, the press, the suffocating expectations. I had to speak out for my kids, for Archie and Lilibet, so they don't grow up in that gilded cage. You've been an advocate for mental health yourself. Surely you understand the weight of silence?" As co-hosts exchanged glances, Sunny Hostin, the legal of the panel, nodded thoughtfully. "Harry, that's powerful. But Sharon, you've called out celebrities before. Piers Morgan, even your own hubby. Is this just tough love, or do you think Harry's crossed a line?" As Sharon's laugh was a bark this time, unfiltered and fierce. She slapped the table. making water glasses jitter. Tough love? Oh, Harry, you're like that nephew who shows up at Christmas with a grudge and a grievance. Uncle Charles never loved me. Aunt Camilla's a villain. Spare us, darling. You were born with a silver spoon the size of Big Ben, palaces at your beck and call, and you waltz away to Montecito with a Netflix deal and a polo pony farm. Meanwhile, the rest of us Brits are queuing for tea bags in the rain. You destroyed your family live on global tele years ago with that interview, and now this book's just pouring petrol on the fire. It's not vulnerability, it's vendetta. A's studio gasped collectively. A wave of ooze rolling from the balcony seats. Alyssa Fair-Griffin, the former White House aide with a soft spot for pageantry, tried to mediate. Sharon, Harry's philanthropy of the Invictus Games, his work with veterans, that's undeniable. Isn't there room for both critique and contribution? But Sharon wasn't having it. She turned fully to Harry, her voice dropping to that gravelly timbre that had terrorized X Factor contestants. Philanthropy? Bravo, Your Highness. But let's talk brass tacks. You and Meghan swan about in diamond tiaras and designer frocks, preaching about privilege while suing the mail for a snap of your kid's garden gate. Destroyed? Mate, you've nuked the monarchy's mystique. Granny, God rest her, must be spinning in her grave like a dried Latanica. And for what? So you can play the victim card harder than a Kardashian at a Botox party? Azar's cheeks flushed a shade deeper than his hair, but his eyes held steady, a flicker of the soldier he'd once been. Sharon